The news day continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. Here's some fresh data from the PSA. The country's gross domestic product, or GDP, is coming in at 5.9% in the third quarter, the fastest expansion among major emerging economies in Asia. The third quarter growth is also way faster than the 4.3% recorded in the second quarter, but it is slower than the 7.7% in the same period last year. The expansion was attributed to higher government spending in the July to September period, but elevated food inflation continued to dampen household spending, which slowed year-on-year to 5%. NEDA Secretary Balisacan says the economy will need to grow 7.2% in the fourth quarter to achieve the low end of the government's full-year 6 to 7% target. The Philippine agricultural output contracted for the second straight quarter in the third quarter, mainly due to declines in crops and fisheries production. Data from the PSA showed the value of production in agriculture and fisheries at constant 2018 prices dipped by 0.3% to 412 billion pesos in the July to September period. This was due to reductions in crops and fisheries production. This was a reversal from the 1.6% growth in the same period of last year, but an improvement from the 1.2% contraction in the second quarter this year. The only subsectors that recorded gains in the third quarter were livestock and poultry. Experts say this was due to the recovery of the livestock sector from the African swine fever and the poultry sector from avian flu. The Agriculture Department has set a target of 2.3% to 2.5% for agricultural output growth this year. Onion and rice prices are up once again in several markets in Metro Manila. Prices of red onions has increased by 30 pesos and is now at 220 pesos per kilo. On the other hand, prices of white onions saw a decrease of about 10 pesos per kilo. Meanwhile, prices of imported rice have increased by 3 pesos, ranging now from 45 pesos to 63 pesos per kilo. For now, prices of local rice remain the same at 45 pesos to 65 pesos per kilo. It's not just onion and imported rice. The government is also noting an increase in egg prices in the past month. Based on the Agriculture Department's latest monitoring, prices of medium-sized eggs have reached nearly 10 pesos apiece in some markets in Metro Manila. That's up from the 8.5 pesos recorded from the month before. Poultry farmers explain that demand for egg usually rises in the last part of the year, as these are used to make cakes, flans, and other delicacies for holiday celebrations. Aside from this, poultry farmers also find it hard to grow their livestock due to the threat of bird flu. Poultry farmers insist that the government has yet to approve a vaccine for this, even as the DA has already issued guidelines for the use of bird flu vaccines.
Kahit anumang protocol mo, kung wala naman yung bakuna protocol para saan yan? Para sa smuggle. Ano say nung protocol kung wala naman yung bakuna?
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jago Castro. The Philippines drops 4 spots in an index that ranked countries based on their ability to attract and retain talent. The country ranked 84th out of 134 economies in the 2023 Global Talent Competitiveness Index, the lowest ranking since the index started in 2013. The Philippines ranked 80th last year. The index's co-author, Felipe Montero, cites a decline in the employability of Filipino workers. According to Montero, the data suggests that it has become more difficult to find skilled employees in the country. He adds that skills mismatching might also be a growing problem. RCBC chief economist Mike Ricafort believes that the Philippines is having a hard time attracting talent because of the high cost of living on top of inflation remaining high. Metro Pacific Investments Corporation Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan is confident that the tollway sector will flourish if he and San Miguel Corporation CEO Ramon join forces. MVP believes that the country will benefit greatly if they continue to collaborate for future projects. Pangilinan believes that their joint ventures for the Cavite-Batangas Expressway and Nasugbu-Bawan Expressway are proof of this.
We're looking at other areas where we can cooperate and create the critical mass that is needed. For example, in the case of tollways, if we manage to combine our 2 tollways, I think it's a good candidate to list in the Philippine Stock Exchange and become a major factor in terms of energizing the stock exchange, because it will be significant.
Aside from infrastructure, the two are also known supporters of Philippine sports. Despite their respective teams' rivalry on the court, both tycoons aim to support Philippine athletes even beyond basketball. Online chat website Omegle has officially shut down after 14 years. What you're seeing now is the website of Omegle after being shut down. The website's founder, Leif K. Brooks, said in a statement that the expense of operating Omegle and efforts to combat criminal activity on the site were simply too much. K. Brooks thanked everyone who used Omegle for positive purposes and to everyone who contributed to the site's success in any way. And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Jago Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News, all sides, all the time.